Hey, hey, Stay. How's it going?
Hiya, going good, enjoying a hot London evening.
Yeah, I think it's been hitting 102, 103 here, which
Yeesh.
is, let's see, what's that in Celsius? Uh, 39 degrees Celsius.
Oh wow. Okay, so you're part of the heat wave. I heard there's an ongoing global heat wave and record temperatures are breaking everywhere around the globe, which is, you know, kind of concerning a little bit.
Yeah, we've been definitely staying inside this last couple days and yeah, trying to keep the AC as high as we can tolerate, but I'm very glad to have it.
Oh, well, I bet. Yeah, yeah. 39 is very harsh. It's the kind of weather where you don't want to stay dehydrated even for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, we haven't really been wanting to do much in the way of things outside. It just feels like being burned by the sun when you're outside and
Yeah.
under a heat lamp.
Oh God. Yeah, I know the feeling. Yeah, luckily over here it's like partially cloudy, so it even rained today. But after the rain, it's scorching sun and it becomes a bit tropical and you can't breathe. But other than that, it's bearable at least. So yeah, not complaining. It's a good place to survive a global heat wave, I guess.
Other than trying to stay cool, what have you been up to?
Dead life, which is very intense and very nice and very intense. And yeah, working on projects on hardcover, chipping away at the stuff we've been working on, and just enjoying the summer, going out, grabbing coffees, yeah, going to cafes. I got a bunch of really good ones near me. So, yeah.
When you go to a cafe, usually, what do you what's like? What do you do? Do you like get something to go? Do you bring work with you and set up shop there? Like,
Yeah, well, I never set up shop in a cafe because I've burned myself a few times with that, meaning that I drink way too much coffee, and I think 1 hour in, uh, I am beginning to feel very jittery, so I have to go do something else. So that kind of doesn't work. So I just go in, grab a coffee. Usually, I got a couple of nice ones where you can stay outside and drink a flat white or a nice latte, which is yeah, very good. Um, yeah, so mostly having the coffee over there, sometimes taking it out and going out for a walk. A couple of them are near churchyard, which is like literally like a church that has a yard, and the yard is very nice. And there's lots of people sunbathing and yeah, walking their dogs over there. So sitting out there with the coffee, just watching everything is pretty nice. And now walking the baby around that area as well. So yeah, how about you?
uh, I think normally I like just bring my laptop, throw it in my backpack, and I usually get like like this time of year I'm getting like a cold brew usually instead, or
Nice.
uh, I really like nitro cold brew when they have that at some places.
Okay, yeah, they don't have nitro over here. I've tried it in a couple of places. I don't know if Starbucks had it, but none of the smaller cafes had it. Yeah, that's very good.
Yeah,
I
and
feel you. Yeah.
then I'll just like sip that for maybe 2 hours ish and work and get some free water, maybe a pastry or something if I'm needing that additional sugar to fuel whatever I'm working on.
Okay, that's good. So you can pace yourself.
I usually only go with one coffee.
Yeah, well, that's a skill. Yeah, for me, I don't know why. I usually whenever I did this, I set myself up to not having more than one coffee, but I always end up ordering more. I don't know what's wrong. Even when there's tea and stuff on the menu, I just grab another coffee. I
Mm.
think it's yeah.
I think I also like just because this desk that I'm at right now is where I do probably 50% of the programming I do, and then maybe another 20% in cafes, and then another 30% might be like in bed or on the couch.
Okay. Oh wow. Okay, that's a pretty healthy like percentage. Like shuffling it around.
But having
Yeah.
that cafe is like that 20% is like uh, the social part because it's like being around other people since I'm not going to an office or co-working spaces or anything like that.
Yeah, that's nice. How do you find focusing in coffee shop environments while coding?
I think if I have like a task picked out ahead of time and I know like I'm doing this one thing, then I can normally like just focus in on that, especially if I can pick out something that I can probably get to a good stopping point by the time I'm done with my coffee.
Okay, okay, yeah. I mean, you got it all figured out. That's. I should take note. I mean, I think that's the way to actually, plan for it so you don't like get jittery after half an hour. Okay, that's very good.
And it's not often like I'll complete a big thing, but it's like I'll chip away and get to a good stopping point where something's working, and I can feel like that sense of uh, like local completion, I guess.
Okay, that's good. How are the coffee places around you?
There are quite a few pretty good ones. There's I think like three local places that are all within walking distance, and then like another Starbucks and a couple others that I think there are two Starbucks within walking distance. But
Okay,
uh, I yeah, there's one called Public Coffee, which does like they roast all their own beans here in Utah, and they have like a huge facility for it. And yeah, they do a lot of really high quality coffee that I really like. Um, like if it's colder, I'll get like a pour over or something like that. But yeah,
nice. Okay, so pretty well stocked.
I've tried going to there's like a what is it like a beer garden and like getting a beer and programming,
Oh
but
yeah.
I'm much less productive.
I bet. Yeah, that'll kill me. That I mean, yeah, not even trying that. Yeah. Well, that's nice. That's good. I mean, when you're not working from an office, I can definitely like I've tried to do it, and I think that's like the main reason why I'd try it out again. Uh, Being surrounded by people should enhance like your productivity, I guess, in theory.
Yeah, it feels like you have less. I think this is like one of the reasons for people wanting like managers specifically wanting people to come back to offices is because you can like eke out more productivity by not having as many distractions. But it feels like a double-edged sword because there are lots of distractions in an office, there are lots of
Oh yeah.
distractions in a coffee shop. So it's it could go either way, and it really just I feel like it just depends on what works best for every individual.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Co-working spaces might be. I have a couple of co-working spaces near, but they're like full to the brim. So I tried a couple of times to go there. I think you're supposed to go there at 6 in the morning to actually like be able to grab a spot because all
Oof.
day they're packed. So lots of people doing that over here, I guess.
Hmm. Have you tried
Yeah.
any of them yet, or
Well, I've tried a couple. Some are good, some are like I've tried the WeWorks, a couple of WeWorks, but I still prefer like I got a nice home like environment, this whole thing. So uh, WeWork home, especially now I can defer the commute. So
yeah, there's one co-working space not too far from us, except it's far enough that if I was biking or walking there, I would be pretty drenched in sweat by the time I get there.
oh god,
So you
yeah,
kind of have to drive. Uh, but they do. There's a Reddit book club that meets there that I've been to, and it's a huge co-working space. Like it's like two stories and kind of open. Like you can look down from one story to the other, like open plan,
oh wow,
with like individual offices and cubicles and like uh, like big. presentation rooms with projectors that hold like 100 people. It's a really nice space, but like every time I think about like joining something like that, I think about like for this to be worth it, I would have to go like if I to pay like a monthly fee, I would have to go like 2 or 3 times a week, and that seems like way too much people time.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, that, and if it's like, I guess more than, I think for me it's about like 15 minutes walking, biking, not by bus. If it's farther than that, yeah, out of the question. And
Yeah,
I'm in South London, so the co-working spaces are more up north. There's a couple over here, but yeah, most of them are. But that's like, if it's like further than that, that's a commute, and you know.
yeah. I could definitely understand it for like a group of local people working together on something though. Like
Yeah,
that would probably be fun because that would like just amplify the energy of working together.
yeah, I guess, I mean, for startups, for like stuff like that, definitely. Uh, but yeah, working from home works as well when you're disciplined, and when, you know, I think it requires a certain. If you're junior, it sucks. If you're
Mm,
senior, then that's when, you know, senior disciplined means that it's way easier to work from home. If you're like just starting out, I mean, I can understand lots of like people who are like starting their careers and not liking the fact that nobody works in an office anymore, because I guess now they have to, yeah, chase people over calls, and there's not the same learning. When you
yeah,
had someone like hovering over you, I guess that would have been more of a pressure to do stuff. I remember that from my early days. Wasn't good, but yeah.
yeah. I think like the whole like mentoring experience remote is it requires a lot more. It requires additional skills. Like you have to plan ahead. You have to budget time. You have to pre-anticipate meetings so that you're like checking in with people more often because you can't just like walk by every day and say how's it going. It's
Yeah.
yeah, it's additional planning work for sure.
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's a tough spot, but anyways. Great.
I, I
Yeah.
had a I had one thing I was thinking about chatting about today. If you're down, um, I've been implementing the book page, and like the more I get into it, the I'm like really loving the direction it's going. Like I'm like using it on staging. I was clicking around, like searching, finding books, and it's like super fast on staging. And seeing like the social parts of like which of my friends have read this, seeing top prompts for a book has been awesome. Uh, the one thing I was kind of like, I think we could probably improve on is like how we show all the like books in a series, books in a list, those like groupings of
Mm-hmm.
books is such a hard one to really hit. And as I was like using the actual site, I was realizing maybe there's some room here for something else. So I was wondering about
Mm-hmm.
like doing some pair design on that today.
Yeah, that's perfect. I've actually wondered a few things around that myself, so it's good to jump in and make a few things. I know there's been some feedback on Discord as well that we can take into consideration, and yeah, displaying books and displaying users, maybe we can touch on that as well, displaying like other people with a snapshot of their books might be, you know, interesting. But yeah, first we can jump into like how we show books and see what we can do there. Should I share my Figma, or do you want to share and we can just jump in?
How about I'll share real quick for where the where we are on staging, and then we can switch over to Figma from there.
Oh yeah, let's go.
That way we can see like in real life kind of thing. Okay, so let me share my
Let's do
screen.
that.
Okay, so here's staging on a somewhat large monitor once it loads. Um, Let me see. Are you able to see my screen there? Or
Wait,
is it
it's loading
still
right now.
loading?
Here we go.
There we go. Cool. So here's an example for Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes based on calculated colors from the cover. And some of these are also being calculated for like the text color and the background color.
Nice.
Um,
Look at that.
then, yeah, friends who read this is like a little hover overlay for like the entire little vertical card there, a little icon if they have a review. Um, and if these sections are empty, so there's three sections that potentially show up. There's friends who read this, friends who want to read this, and friends who are reading this. And each one will show up kind of like this as a header and then the list. And there's no limit on how many of them it'll show right now.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have 100 friends that have read it, it's going to show 100 icons right now.
Ooh, okay. I mean,
So let me I'm gonna open up Obsidian to take some notes here for things we might want to change here.
yeah, I guess about how many are there on the bottom row? There's like seven, maybe eight. Just limited to, so they're on one row at this resolution, so that's MD, I guess, in Tailwind. On
Yeah,
mobile they can maybe scroll sideways, so you can just like scroll if uh yeah, if there's more. I'm guessing this is the case where if there are more friends, you would want to see, if you have 100 friends, you would want to see just the first eight. So when you could, maybe you could click on the header and it could take you to a tab where you could see the friends, maybe under readers, I'm thinking. So for readers, under readers, you'd see the friends first, and you could expand those views. What do you think?
yeah, that could work for like kind of the information architecture of this. Like right now,
Yeah.
readers is kind of just an activity stream, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
all the
Oh, so
recent
that's basically, yeah, the activity. Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's just like the feed of recent activity on this. But we could change that to be like an actual list of users rather than a list of activities.
Yeah, maybe. Just maybe just let's note that down and see if it's a better alternative. Or it could be a scroll area, which you could horizontally scroll, and maybe you could have scroll snap on it. So you wouldn't, you just like this.
Oh yeah, so it's like yeah, so it'd be kind of like if this were scrolling but snapping at like
Mm-hmm. Yeah, at the first. So yeah, you wouldn't get. Yeah,
partial. Yeah,
yeah. Scroll snap is good by for that as well. By the way, for the books, but all in due time.
yeah. And then let's see. So yeah, this area right here for like the like your info, um, it shows for like dates read. So as soon as you add a new one, it'll add it in here, and it like you see it like showed up in the background.
Nice.
And
Ooh,
likewise,
that's snappy.
I think if you like add some lists, the lists part was a little bit more tricky. So that one doesn't show up, but like it's the first time you load the page, it'll load it, but it doesn't append them to an existing one.
Oh wow. Okay.
So,
Wow. That's still good. No one
yeah,
would mind a little load. Yeah.
yeah. and it'll still show up like here as soon as you do it. Same with the like genres. Like if you add a couple genres here and then a couple
Yeah,
moods.
that's nice.
I just kind of copied the existing one we had in the modal. I didn't really do any work on improving it yet.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Yeah,
Yeah, it added them like
step by step, step by step.
in the same style we currently have, just to
Wow, that's
get out there.
nice. Yeah, that's perfect. You have the genres over there. Sorry about the background noise. I think my cat is wrestling her water bowl for some reason.
And then I think for let's say what is it? Go to one that has quite a bit of activity on it. Something like Way of Kings has like this is a part of multiple series and it's a part of
Mm-hmm.
multiple prompts. Um, and so this is kind of where we get into that um, part I was kind of most curious about. It's like how
Mm-hmm.
we structure this in a way that like shows the shows like the series, shows this info, kind of like we have in the mock-ups, but then makes it easy to understand like where this book exists in the series, what other books are in it. And this is kind of a rough case because there's a lot of duplicates
Oh
because
yeah.
I haven't cleaned the data. But normally this would only have like four that are released, and then the next one is would be like a placeholder.
Gotcha. Okay, so what are you thinking? What would you want to see over here? What would you expect?
I think I'd like to see. Well, in terms of like where I'd like to go from here, I'd like to be able to go to either the series page or potentially the next book in the series that I haven't read, or the next
Mm,
book in the series after the current one. I think those are kind of the most common use cases. So like, I'm in the Stormlight archive and I could easily see like which books in the series I've already read to know like, oh, I'm on book 4 because I've read the first 3 or something like that.
mm-hmm. Okay, so that would be on the series page, right? Or would you want to see it on this page as well?
Um Seeing it on here would be really cool because then you could it would give you more of a reason to explore the series if you already know
Mm-hmm.
you've read part of it.
Yeah. Oh wow, the title was actually in Romanian for some reason.
um, and then for prompts it's kind of similar there. um, I'm just picking out the top right now. It's showing the top 3 prompts that have the most total user votes for that book. So it's not necessarily the prompts that has that book at the top because someone could create a prompt, it could have one vote and that book could be the top, but that's
Oh
only
yeah.
one vote for that book. So these are the prompts that had the most votes for that book. Like this one has 4 votes for it, for instance. And this one
Nice.
has like probably 3 or something. Yeah, 5. So
Okay, that's good. Well, over here, do you want to jump over in Figma and mock a few things up?
yeah, sounds great.
So let's go over here in Figma. There's the book page where here we go. Yeah, over here.
Cool.
So
Do you want
for
to
this one,
share for this
uh,
part?
uh, yeah.
I'll be following you on Figma too.
Okay, wait. Let me share the entire screen. Okay, so here we go. Uh, So right now, this is the book page. You have all these things we have on the live page as well, and this is kind of like how the books are shown, but of course, some of them have different heights, some of them have different widths. So I'm just gonna pull a few things over here to get a closer. This can be just like this. So yeah, this is kind of like how it's showing now. Um, Over here, I think the one thing we could do. So we want to see an overview of the series. Let's start with the series. So we have the series. Let me copy that over here, and we'd want to see an overview, but also we'd want to see which book we're currently at, or let's say we this is the current book, right? This is the next one after it. So it was, yeah, it was actually okay how they were laid out. um, you're thinking to have more info at this level, meaning show maybe the book titles over here, or um, showing anything else other than the covers and the place that they have in the series. I'm
That's
trying,
what I've
yeah.
yeah, that's one of the things I'm wondering is if we need to show the title somewhere or if we can just show the cover. Like it's like the cover would just showing the cover would be the easiest, but then we like you can't really like some covers you can't tell what the book is.
Yeah, that's true. Let me jump in here because we have uh, cover plus title plus description plus book button that maybe we could use. And we also have a few book views that might be useful. So we
Mm-hmm.
have these that we could maybe use. These are like different levels of uh, information for a book. Let me paste these two. So we have these over here. Boom. And we have this view, and I think there was another view. So this is the user view that has just the covers as well. Uh, what we want is something that features a bit of info, right? There's also this. So we could
Mm-hmm.
also take the this one with the title underneath. Um, what do you think about all these? I mean, feel free to interrupt me while I'm like just dragging stuff around. If you have any
Yeah,
ideas,
I I was just thinking about like
or this.
uh one of the things someone mentioned was like, making them uniform size. So I was even thinking about that at the same time, but
Mm-hmm.
uh
Yeah, uniform size would basically be having. Now we have a fixed width. So with a fixed width, the height varies. So if it's a square book cover, you're gonna have something like this. Uh,
and we can
if
make that uniform height and width, but then it would stretch it if it's originally a square cover.
Oh yeah, definitely. So I think that option would be out of the question because it would also cut the cover. So you wouldn't want to see this. You wouldn't want to see this. So I think the only other option, different from fixed width, would be fixed height. So each book would have a fixed height, but The problem is that many of our lists contain audiobooks and hardcovers and paperbacks, and for audiobooks, you kind of get something like this. So you might have a few books which appear really tiny, even though they're like hardcovers, and you will get these huge books which will be the
Mm.
audiobooks. So you'll get stuff like this most probably, right?
Yeah, and one of the things we could do is like the the cover we could show here is going to be whatever the default cover is for the book, and that default cover is ideally the the physical version, not the audio version. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's more of a sign that that's kind of wrong data for that book. Like that book's cover actually needs to be switched from the audio one to the physical one. So maybe we could probably assume that in the long run for data, most of our covers are going to be this size, or this, like, not square. But then
Mm-hmm.
for books that only have an audio recording out and don't have a like a any other formats released, those will always only be square.
Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, that's a good rule of thumb. I mean, on the long run, most of the books should look like this. If there's a book that's like audio only, uh, maybe it shouldn't even like be. Wouldn't have to be in the same list, or maybe it's not likely to be on the same list with physical books or on the same prompt. So yeah, that's that. And even if it's square, you know, having a square cover every now and then wouldn't be too bad, I'm guessing. And it's a way, like you said, to flag books which have the wrong book data. So I'm guessing we
Hmm.
can make them equal height and just solve that.
Yeah,
What do
yeah.
you
I
think?
think I think equal height. I think equal height's probably better than equal width.
Yeah,
But
I know some people love the idea that it looks like a bookshelf when you have different heights, but I'm guessing this is tidier.
yeah, like just like going back to the page I just showed on staging, and seeing it like just jump back and forth for height. Like just seeing it in the mock-up with different widths looks better. So yeah, I'm down
Hmm.
to. I can switch it over to that, and we can just see how it looks with real data.
Yeah, let's do that. And if we have, I mean, right now we have readers suggesting that equal height would be better. If we'll switch it to equal height, and we'll have people complaining that it doesn't look like a bookshelf anymore, if their voices are strong enough, we can consider switching, or maybe
Yeah,
let's see.
and then for how we show this kind of series for something that has enough books that we can't just show them all in one row.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I guess one option is that we just like uh, flex wrap it and just like put it on the next line, and then
Mm-hmm.
just wrap it until the however many books we want to show are done. Yeah,
Yes,
kind of like
I
those three rows.
actually did. Yep.
Huh.
I was
Yeah,
actually
exactly.
thinking, yeah, Figma has a wrapping option now. So,
Huh.
yeah, they just put it in the. So if you do this and wrap them, yeah, they're just like doing that. So I was thinking at first we could have a shelf view and grid view, so that the grid view is actually on mobile. It can render like this. I know we talked about having a grid view, and I think it's needed. So whenever we'd show books, we could either show them as a horizontal shelf, or we could show them as a grid. I was also thinking that each cover could have a variant if it's a ranked list or a prompt, so that we can use these components for ranking, which we made, to actually show the rank, but that's another discussion. I just wanted to mention it since we were over here. And the ranking, I was thinking it could go either above the book for the shelf view, or like in this corner for the grid view. Uh, but yeah, that's just like a first
Yeah.
suggestion. But this, how's it looking?
Um,
What do you
uh,
think?
yeah, I like it. I think I think I like it more than the idea of like scrolling horizontally, both on mobile and on
Mm-hmm.
desktop. Especially on desktop, where like I don't want to be like scrolling a page, then have to scroll sideways, then scroll up more, then scroll sideways, then scroll up more and scroll sideways. I'd rather just
Yeah,
like scroll up and eventually see it all.
yeah, definitely. For lists that have a lot of books, would you show just the first number, like, I don't know, 8 books, or would you have a load more thing to show you as many books as you want? What do you
Um,
think?
I think I think showing just a set number, like maybe like if we're on mobile, if it's like 3 by 3 and it's like 9 or something,
Mm-hmm.
or uh, if it's on desktop, maybe because on desktop you can show like how many show in a row. Like at our current width, we can see about 6.5 on a row. So we could show
Yeah,
like 2 rows
yeah. Well,
on
this could
desktop.
be good.
And yeah, and that's assuming we span the books over um, the entire container with, and don't have like a 2 column side with like part of it with a like description and title, and then like books on the side. Like if we keep it like linearly down, so it's like
Mm-hmm.
title books, which
Yeah,
I'm okay with, because I feel like if we try to split it up into multiple columns, the only way that would work is if we like if we don't have people clicking on the individual books, because that kind of gets into how our current prompts page is.
yeah. And that seems like a messy layout. I know we did a bunch of those layouts at first, and it's pretty hard to manage the text on one side and results
Hmm.
on the other column, especially how it adapts on mobile. I find that it's
There's
quite confusing.
yeah, there's
Uh,
one on the profile page that uh,
yeah, where
it
is
was
it? The
straight. It was
profile
like
page.
down and left a bit. Yeah,
Yeah, over here. Yeah,
it's
this is the one. Yeah.
yeah. I think like, and this is a wider width too. I think.
Yeah, it is a wider width. So even with this wider width, it seems a little bit off because see here the info is kind of getting cramped. You don't have the books, and any resolution that's a little lower than this, you have to rethink the whole thing. So I think this layout works way better with all the info here. You can even put a description underneath. I put this underneath because it was over here, and you mentioned the title might be longer. And if we have this information which is fixed, so let's say we have only 4 people showing as a maximum number of users, then you have this button which is fixed, and then you have the created by. That's like fixed. There's nothing variable in there.
Yeah,
So yeah, this is looking good. I think it will be like much tidier if we do that. That's fixed height and showing the books on a grid. I think that's gonna be nice.
yeah. So basically, two rows of books on desktop view.
Yeah. What do you think about the ranking? Could we use this for series as well, or should we use this one? I was
Hmm.
thinking if we could do maybe what? Not the pound symbol. God damn it, my keyboard is playing tricks on me. So if we do this,
Yeah, I think the text on it might get a little harder to
yeah,
read since
yeah, it's
sometimes it
cramped.
might be like book 11.5 or something.
Oh God, yeah. Oh, I forgot about those. Okay, let's keep it like that. This is basically label, so it's this component, or I don't know what we have in code, but yeah, in Figma is
Mm-hmm.
this one,
Okay. Yeah,
or
that
it
works
could be
for it.
count. Yeah,
And it's kind of that, but with a no rounded border on the bottom part.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, it could be a variant for
Mm.
prompts, for series. Sorry.
Yeah. Um,
I'm also thinking we could do a version with compact, even more compact covers, kind of like we have on the this page. But I don't know. I guess that wouldn't be like really useful. You want to see the books, right? That's the main thing. So I was thinking how Letterbox does it with those movie posters cramped one next to the other.
maybe what about something like that for like the list, like the on the books page, there's a one called lists, which is like all of the lists that this book appears on. And maybe
Mm-hmm.
maybe for that page, showing showing it in this format might be a little overwhelming because let's say a book's on 100 lists. If you have 100 lists and each one has 100 books on it, that's a lot of potential places to explore. Maybe if you're going to the list page, you're trying to get to another list, and so it makes sense to maybe have a different view that doesn't allow you to click on the individual books.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds good. So over here, you would click on the individual books, but the list is more of a preview. So maybe, uh, yeah, we could just have the smaller version of these covers. Let's say you only have like these, and you have this, and you have this, and you have this kind of spacing. Here we go. And let me actually put these on the list page. Lists. Here we go. This is what I was thinking at first, but the thing is, the more universal we make these components and the more we can reuse these views, I think the better. So I think if we have sort of like a list view, maybe we wouldn't like name it a list view. Maybe it would be like a compact view or something so that we can use it in other places as well. What do you
I
think?
Yeah, I in the code, the one I have is called a book group, and
Oh,
then
here we go. Yeah.
for each book group, you can pass in like a header component, which shows you how the part before it's displayed, and then you can pass in like an item component, which shows how every individual book is displayed. So that way you can
Nice.
like use the badge on the top or badge on the bottom, that kind of thing.
That's good. Yeah. Okay. So already anticipated that. Why am I not surprised? Uh,
But this, like having it as two columns, that one I'll probably have to change to make like
yeah.
pass in some
I don't
additional
know.
options.
Maybe we could do it like this, and we could just put the items onto columns. So
Hmm.
we'd have. So this is the old layout. So the new. Let me get the new width. So the new width is 12 columns, but it's center 45 12. Okay. I just do my grids like this in Figma. I don't know if there's like another way to do it, but I just remember numbers. Here we go.
Hey, I spent years at just 960 12 columns. that's that's like the number that I associate with grids still, even though that was probably like IE6.
Yeah, uh, they burn into your head after using
Yep.
them for a while. Actually, let's like do this because if we maybe we can normalize the book the cover sizes as well. I was gonna look in the code, but here in Figma we have four cover sizes. So this is
Mm.
LG, this is MD, this is SM, this is XS. I don't know if we have. Do we have four in the code or?
Uh, right now, every place we use a cover, we pass in a height or a width, and it'll calculate the other one based on the proportions.
Oh,
Um,
okay, okay.
but but I do want to switch to that component style of those four because right now that also means like uh, we're we're not optimizing our book preload images because like you view an image on one page and you go to another page and you it's like 8 pixels smaller, but it's a different whole web request instead of a cached request. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay, gotcha.
narrowing
Okay,
it
so
down to
that
those four models would be great.
okay, that's cool. Yeah, there. You can take the sizes from here. This is 180 by 280. I mean, they work. We can definitely see how they work in production, but in designs they work pretty well. So over here, yeah, we could actually put like the whole list component on two columns. So it's like one next to the other, and we can even like, let's say we do this, and there's like so they have a
Oh
bit more
yeah,
space.
that
Yeah.
does it does look good. Yeah, I mean it's I think yeah I think that's it looks less daunting than seeing a big list and trying to like browse the books on the list. It's kind of telling you like okay to engage with this list you should go to the list page, not engage with it here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of. I mean, if you like that, I kind of like it as well. I mean, it's pretty good to let uh, readers navigate to the list page and have maybe either the last added books here or the most popular. I don't know
Yeah.
which one. We can put the last added. I'm guessing that's easier from a data perspective.
Yeah, we could sort by popularity of the book, but then people might see the same first book as like
Hmm.
1984 or something for a whole
Oh
bunch of
yeah,
books.
yeah.
Um, it could be the highest rated book or the most read on hardcover,
Mm-hmm.
or
I'm guessing if you see this on the book page, maybe you want the actual like book you're on to appear first.
mm,
But I'm not sure if that's like we can not do that. I mean, you can find it in this list. You can just like take our word that it's there, even if you don't see it in this preview.
yeah, yeah, trying to get to like both the um, your engagement with this list and your like followers or people you follow's engagement with this list. That would be that would change it from being like for this we could cache this entire page for everyone because everyone's seeing the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's changing
Oh
it to
yeah.
be dynamic per person, which would make it really cool, but it would probably be loaded on the client side rather than on the server side.
Oh yeah. Well, let's not do that. I mean, it's better to just have it, and if they go to the book page they're gonna see the book. I'm thinking for when this is on the actual book page. See, so when you're here and if you're seeing some lists over here, maybe It's a little bit bigger. I was thinking if you see this list, yeah, maybe have this book first all the time. But
Hmm. So let's see. So this is like an example of a long title for a list. Let me copy that over just to see what that would look like.
oh yeah, we can put it over here as well. It's gonna go on 2 rows. So let's
Oh,
see. Here we go.
I was going to edit the Stripe Press books to be um, this, like a, but I apparently I just posted in the Riverside chat, but I apparently don't have one of the fonts, so it wouldn't let me.
Oh crap! Just paste it anywhere, and I'll copy it. I think I put it on the drive.
I
Here we
think you
go.
did. I just haven't loaded it.
Here we go. Up. Here. This will probably be like it would even do this. So yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, I think it looks good.
It's not ideal. Maybe we can let, let's try to make it on one row, see how that looks like. Just like get this out of the way so we have the compact view. Sorry about this. I don't know why I don't zoom in sometimes. Okay, let me. Oh God, what am I doing? Let's just make it longer and put it underneath. Okay, so maybe we take this and yeah, just put this over here and this over here,
Hmm.
or the other way around. What do you think? Actually, maybe just like remove the button as well to make readers go to the actual page if they want to bookmark it.
Yeah. Uh, let's see. So the other things we could have on here were like
We could
number of
actually put
books,
this.
whether that's like here or there.
Yeah, we could put it here because it's more of a fixed. You could get the username, which is
Hmm.
hardcover, and get like 1,000 books in here. Yeah, and it's good. And on mobile, this can just come underneath. So it could be this.
Let's see. It it's funny how we went from like let's do it vertically to let's do it sideways, and it just makes sense. Like, yeah, I guess, yeah, I guess there's like yeah different intents. So this is a good one for like when we're showing it small, or maybe like there we have three sizes of it. Like I think we're thinking about it like in three sizes. One is like the full size, where it's like this is going to take up the entire width. You can explore the books. One of
Mm-hmm.
it's like this is going to take up a full size, but you can't explore the books. And then it's like this is going to take up half size, and you can't explore the books. So it feels like all three of them are useful, but just in different contexts.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's great. I mean, you actually mentioned a really, really important thing over now, because we should be thinking about the use cases. And yeah, I think those are the use cases. When you're on the book page, you'd want to see info about that book, but maybe you wouldn't want to navigate very easily to other books because you want to get focused on this one. So this is a view which allows you to do that. It offers info without letting you navigate so easily. You can see the list. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, maybe like the series one is like the one that would be the full view, and maybe
mhm.
a prompt one might be more like this secondary like full width, but you can't click on the other books one, and then the top lists might be more in this half width kind of part,
Mm-hmm.
and that would also like really change up the flow of the book page because it wouldn't be like all these lists that are all look the same. It would be like three different types of lists, each with its own style to it.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I mean, it's if we organize these views so we can uh, reuse them in other places. So if this one's for lists, if we have this one for prompts and a wider one for series, I think that would work. What do you think? Does it cover? Let's do this.
I think it's I think it kind of could work for all three of them. Like there could be a large, medium, and small view for a prompt, a list, or a series. And maybe the large view of any of them looks kind of like this with like full size ability to look on click on it. The medium view
Mm-hmm.
for each of them looks kind of like this where it's on one line and it's like that, and then the small view for each of them is the like half width one.
The one over here, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's great. I love that. Yeah, I think that's actually the missing piece. So you'd be able to specify what kind of view you want, if it's like for a prompt or a series or a list, and maybe further down the line, maybe if it's for a discussion, let's say,
yeah,
and you could then specify, yeah, the actual level, like size you want for it. Yeah, I think
yeah,
that would work great.
yeah, yeah. I'm liking that. And specifying the size of the book group would also then um, have a set size for what the covers are for that size. So like the large view for prompts, lists, and series is all this size covers. The medium size for all three of them is always this size covers.
Yeah, that's very organized. I'm wondering one thing. Could we also do that for when we show user and their books? Because I've been playing around with ways to show other readers on hardcover and show a glimpse of what they're reading. So I'm thinking maybe we could use, or yeah, either these views as they are with different info over here. So you'd have the username, you'd have the follow button, and you'd have either their latest reads with big covers, with smaller covers, or I'm guessing, yeah, we could make a separate component for that, but maybe keep it along the same lines as this. What do you
Um,
think?
yeah, yeah. I'm trying to imagine the intent of it. This is like when you're seeing like a list of users somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. So, for instance, when you're on the readers on hardcover page and
Mm-hmm.
you want to filter people by similarity, these are some of the options that I was exploring, but I'm guessing it would be better to have them. So, this is what we have now. This is like the equivalent of that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
Maybe
We
we
could
can use
we
these views. That's why I was thinking we could use like these covers to match them with this info, and yeah, basically make a component for showing people as well with different levels of info. So let me jump. Where was that? Kind of like this. See, so you have
mm-hmm.
an XS, an S, an M. Well, this
Ooh.
is for authors, but yeah, kind of like.
what do you think of the sheep icons for? I like it, but I don't know.
That was for follow. I was playing around with it. But
I like it, but
yeah, it's pretty good. Look at this. It's a sheep.
mm,
Yeah, it's for following, but yeah, it was
yeah,
just one of the experiments. I don't know if that would actually catch.
it's like join their flock.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. No, some people might be offended. Or, yeah, it might be weird, but yeah, let's just say follow. We'll save the sheep icon for somewhere else.
uh, but yeah, this
Yeah,
yeah, trying to to get I think using the similar user cards or using the similar thing with users could work. Um, but I think I like this even more for like a user.
for a
but
user.
this
Okay,
but
yeah.
it really I guess it really depends on the context for when we get there
Mm-hmm.
because we might want to
Yeah,
show like
definitely.
yeah
Some books, right? Oh
depending
yeah,
on
here we go.
what information is important to show, like if it's like what they're currently reading or if it's like here are their favorite reads of all time or like here are books you have in common.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like that favorite books.
Yeah. Okay, that's
But
great.
yeah,
Yeah. If we can do like the size thing for this one, I think it would work great. So size implies the level of information as well as the actual size. That's kind of like the thing here, right?
yeah, like
And the
this
level of interactivity as well.
for something like this component right here, like this like if I clicked on someone's profile on the mobile app and I saw this at like the top, like I think that would be pretty great. Like this is a lot of detailed like precise information about the user. Um, it's almost like a mini profile. But did you have a
Mm-hmm.
space in mind you were thinking for like where we might show people something like this?
I was thinking maybe either you know how Twitter has the hover cards on desktop, where yeah you just hover over someone's profile. That would be on desktop and on mobile. Maybe on the explore page where you can basically find other readers. I think the readers page, which is actually the supporters page right now, is a good place to find other readers, or if we introduce it in search, so when you search for
Mm, like an
something,
author or something.
yeah, you can find like an author or you could find a reader, and it uses the same component. So for an author you'd get their books, for a reader you'd get like their favorite reads or their latest reads. And we can even make it so that for supporters, it shows your favorite books. For everyone else it shows the latest books they've read. So yeah, just pages like this one where you would be able to look for uh, readers that are similar to you. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I think that would be really cool.
nice. Yeah, just preparing like the ground for that as well. But this is great. This is like I think it was the missing link because it ties everything together. And if for the ranked like lists or the ranked places, the places where we show ranked books, like prompts, we can show something like this. I don't know. Would that be
Yeah.
nice? Like having it like this. So
I'm
it's either like this or above. Uh, so above the book.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
thinking that if we put it above, it doesn't work so great in grid view because it kind of like puts everything puts everything Further down.
One thing I was thinking for this, and I haven't put too much thought into it, but let me try to join you where you are to see.
Oh
Um,
yeah, just step on my name. I'm in the UI library.
is something like, oh, stop falling. It's a kind of this idea where um, you know where like Amazon and other places have like the little turn like book turn thing on the bottom right corner where it's like look inside.
Yeah.
A lot of people use
Mm-hmm.
that as like a spot for additional information about a book, but I feel it's kind of hidden away. So I don't know. I guess I don't have a super strong preference on the corner or the top, so I'd go with whatever one you're most excited about.
Mm, yeah, well, I think this one for spacing reasons works best. So, just playing around with it. It kind of works well, but I think for the positioning, we can actually make it into a component and see if, over here I'm using the cover component and it's just the positioning that changes. So for the shelves, I like this one, but for the grids, I like it in this corner. And even if it's
Mhm.
like over the book, it doesn't take up too much space.
Yeah, I I think yeah. So this would be useful for like when we have a prompt and we're showing the top books in a prompt. When we have a list
Mm-hmm.
that's a ranked list, we could show it
Mm-hmm.
for a ranked list.
Yeah,
Um, are there
those would be
other?
the cases. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And it also makes me wonder. Maybe we don't need to show the numbers for everything. Maybe we only need to show one, two, and three, and then
Yeah, that's
after
right.
that we stop showing the numbers. That way,
Yeah, it can be just like,
and that would also remove the concern about like this is the 10th thing in the list. This is the 24th thing in the list.
oh yeah, I actually made it up to 99, so it's a bit cramped, but we can
Hmm.
even make it smaller for. But yeah, maybe
Oh
we can
yeah.
show just the top three. Else, we can
Yeah.
use like the count. The count label also looks good. So
I do like that badge label. I think
yeah, it's
it
nice.
uh it has more impact on like uh importance to me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. That's good. Uh, yeah, it could work. Let's say 95, 85, 65. Okay. Yeah,
88.
let's try 88. 88.
Yeah.
Kind of cramped. 99.
Yeah. Yeah,
What's
it,
it
it still
like?
fits. Yeah.
Yeah, it fits like barely. We can make it a bit smaller. I mean, if we implement it, yeah, we could try showing it like this. See if it works.
Well, I'll
Can't that? Oh, okay. This is. Oh, yeah. This is actually like the default size. This is the size in Figma. Nice.
well once I implement it, it'll be easy to try out on a list of any number, so we can kind of just play with it and see if we want to add it to all of them or just keep it to the top three. But
Yeah,
yeah,
that
I
sounds
think
good.
that's good. Well, I think I got some of my design questions answered for the book page. So yeah, I'm excited to try implementing like this right here, what you're showing, like for series and prompts and lists. I think that'll be really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's great to have all these views because, yeah, organizing like big amounts of books and data and big libraries, I think, is one of our like strong suits. So this would make it like even stronger. I know we have
Yeah.
the list view and the card view and the shelf view for lists. This is gonna like take the actual higher level views to that level as well. So this, yeah, it looks exciting.
So the I guess the last kind of question I have for you about these three types of lists, these two and the half size one, is should we have any kind of like visual distinction around that list item, or should it kind of float freely, or should it have like a divider between them, or border around it, or gradients? Just thinking like
Yeah,
we had
that's
this
a good
gradient
question.
up
Uh-huh.
here, and when I tried this gradient on like the actual page, it felt a little busy.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
But
that's why I limited it to just this width, but maybe with 5 pixel negative margin over here, and maybe with hidden overflow if you're scrolling. So you just have, if you have like multiple books over here, it would just like show like this, which is pretty similar to how we're showing it right now, except that this is a gradient, so it kind of like fades away.
yeah,
Um, but yeah, for that specific question, I don't know. Would you see any borders? I know we started off designing hardcover with lots of borders, but right now I think I'm a fan of like not eliminating borders wherever possible and trying to actually like separate the information without them. We could use these like really faded borders, but this
or
seems like a
or it could
tad
be
cleaner. Yeah.
it could be between groups. So like if there are, well, I was thinking like if there are multiple prompts and then there are multiple series and there are multiple lists, it would kind of be between the like the group of series and the group of lists. But oftentimes there might only be one series, so it's kind of just putting a
Yeah,
border around one.
yeah. Well, let's put a border around it because if we use this like dark, whatever we have, dark gray 600, I think yeah, it's not. It's pretty subtle, so I'd say go for it, and we can like eliminate it further along. You know, if we feel like it's too much.
Yeah, yeah. I think I like it.
Yeah, let's put it there and let's see. I was the same, but trying stuff out. I know we had even more borders when we started out the first designs. Yeah, now eliminating them. Well, we'll have them over here as well. So yeah, let's just leave them there.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Looks good.
It does match the review page, and so yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wow,
yeah, this is
cool.
looking good. Mm-hmm.
Well, I think
Nice,
that I think that's
good
a good
progress.
good stopping point, and yeah, um, I'll probably try to get most of this in today on the book page, and we can see how it looks.
Nice. Well, that sounds good. You've been moving, at a pace. I've been trying to keep up, but lots of duties on my plate. But yeah, that's
Yeah,
good.
it feels like we're finally getting to that point where we're almost done with this current phase of work. I feel like the book page and then just kind of cleaning up everything that we've already done will be a good stopping point. And
Yeah,
I'm I'm not planning on doing all of the other parts of the book page, like redoing the reviews page or redoing the prompts page yet, but we can they'll be working, so we can at least improve them one by one.
yeah, that's great. This move to the new like router app router is very hefty. So let's just get this shipped because the app will move with the search and everything we're updating. It will look like a whole different thing, anyway. So yeah,
Yeah,
looks exciting.
cool.
Nice. Well, I
Well,
think we can wrap it up.
yeah.
Hardcover number, what is that? I always forget. It's like 16. Is it 16?
I don't even look until I'm posting it, so I don't know. But
Okay,
yeah,
let's say
good,
16.
but yeah, good talk.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, talk to you later.
have a good one and goodbye, everybody. Bye bye.
Bye.